In the world, men have two choices. They can go this way and choose logic, or they can go this way and choose feminism. Guess what the simp men choose? They choose to wear the skirt. And so today we're going to be doing a roast of these simp men. So the first one on the list, chat, is this guy. Now, I remember a few months ago, somebody brought me this video for reaction. And this man had interesting views, which I did react to. But today is the day we're going to do the roast. So this is Sango Uncle's opinion. His video is called 2 Burgers, 1 Movie and a Gold Digger Girls.
जलील मत करो महिलाओं को, कुछ तो करना ही है ना, प्रोग्राम पैदा हो गए हैं तो अब तो वो उन जैसों के गाइडेंस में चले जाओ, घूम घाम के उनके हमारे पास आते हैं, फिर तुम 20 साल लूजर लाइफ जी लोगे, पैसे भी नहीं कमाओगे तो गोल्ड डिगर भी नहीं मिलने वाली तुम्हें 45 साल में, क्योंकि
I don't think we need the gold digger. That's not what we are fishing for, buddy.
गोल्ड का कुछ भी नहीं है तुम्हारे पास, है 2 बर्गर 2 डोसे खागी। मतलब मैं ये कह रहा हूँ यार, इतनी जलील मत करो महिलाओं को। कोई एक्चुअल में गोल्ड डिगर है तो ठीक है, गोल्ड लेगी, कुछ लेगी, हाथ में लेगी, कुछ एक्चुअल लेगी तो समझ में आता है। मतलब 2 बर्गर 2 डोसे में क्या मिल जाए आपको, मतलब कि वो उसने खाए। अब आपको एनी गर्ल, this is a message for all the men, young men out there, कि if a female, a lady comes to you, a young woman, and आप कहीं खाना खाने जाते हैं and आप खर्च कर रहे हैं, this is the bare minimum you can do, because
So chat, that was his opinion, that men should suck it up and pay for the women, because it's not a big deal. 2 burgers, 1 movie, 1 dosa. Is that really what you're crying about? So, let's start the roast. See, a lot of people were wondering why men like these have the opinions that they have. Okay, and I have a very good reason for that. So first of all, Sango Uncle's channel is called Clarity for the Youth. So our boomer uncle thinks he has clarity for the youth. We have a presentation today. It's called Clarity for the Boomers chat. What is clarity for the boomers? Right. So everybody was like, why do men like these have the opinions that they have? Well, it's because, chat, this is the race that we are running. Okay, this is a race for men. We're trying to get to the top. Okay. This is a race for the cucks. Okay, so this man is racing to the bottom. So you should understand that why he has the standards he has. This is why he thinks that, that the men are not meeting his standards. Because as you can see, we're running in the opposite direction than him. He's winning a different race. Now, you might want to ask me, chat. You might want to ask me. So these cucks are running the race to the bottom. How low do you think the cucks can get? How low do you think Sango Uncle can get? How low? Chat, Sango Uncle can get so low. I'm afraid that if I ask that question, he might take it as a challenge. Sango Uncle's best memories are from a farm. Guess why? Because that's where all the women milked him for his money. See, chat, this is the achievement these men are running for. Okay, chat. This millionaire capitalist gave us a beautiful quote. He said, "He who dies with the most toys wins," because he wanted us to run the capitalist race of making the most consumption, boosting the most profits for the capitalists. But then Sango Uncle came up with his own idea for a different race. He said, "He who dies with the most bankruptcies wins." See, this is why, chat, this is why he thinks paying bills for women on a date is not a big deal. This is why, because this is the race he's running. Okay, so chat, when Sango Uncle sees a woman, he spreads himself on the floor. Guess why he does that? So women can wipe their shoes better. Gotta clean him, chat. Gotta clean him. Gotta be a good doormat. Right. So, chat, did you know that Sango Uncle has a Guinness Book of World Record? Guess what it's for? It's for being the fastest calculator of his dignity. He self-evaluated himself in a record amount of time. He is the fastest calculator in the world of his own dignity, chat. Guess what he what's the number he came up with? This is his remaining dignity, chat. Calculated in the fastest amount of time, chat. Guinness Book of World Records. Mick, were there any feminists in Afghanistan before the invasion of Taliban? There were, yes. Little that you know. Actually, I saw a documentary. So we'll get back to the roast really quickly. Let me just answer this. Were there feminists in Afghanistan? I saw a documentary when they were having the Islamic Revolution back in the 70s and 80s. They were occupied by the communists, Russian communists. So there was this political war going on where one side was communist, the other side was Islamist, and the communist side was super feminist. Women were out there in Afghanistan staging the protest. Afghanistan looked very different in the 80s. They had bars, no burqas, no hijabs. They dressed like everybody else, went to the bars, did clubbing, dancing, thriving cities. And then communists lost. And so Afghanistan is the way that it is. But yes, there were feminists during the communist rule. They do file false cases. Mick, where are those feminists today, Mick? They do not come to our streams. I don't know where they are. Okay, so back to the roast. Where was we? Okay, so Guinness Book of World Record. Taliban is probably there to save the culture. Yeah, you could say that. If you were to look at it from their perspective, yeah, that's what it's about for them. Hello, Mick, bro. Welcome back. Garv, welcome back to the stream to you, sir. Okay, chat, let's moving on to our roast. Where was we? Okay, so chat, what is the difference between charity and submission? As you saw, Sango Uncle thinks you should just pay, suck it up and pay for the women on dates. It's just one burger, one dosa, one movie. Why are you crying? See, chat, there's a difference between charity and submission. What do you think that difference is? The difference is Sango Uncle, chat. See, this is submission and this is charity. This humiliation is not what we are up for. Next, what's next? Okay, I think that's all we have for Sango Uncle. That's the total roast. Yeah, let's move on. Who's the next victim? Okay, so somebody sent me this video of Feminism, Patriarchy, and Manusmriti. Now, I can't speak to Manusmriti because I'm not very well educated on Hinduism. But I can speak on feminism and patriarchy. What happened to those feminists? Are they dead or alive? Well, let's just say the women are alive, their feminism is dead. Now, let's see what this guy has to say. Do we have a roast for him as well? Yeah, I think we have a little bit of a roast for him. Oh, chat, we missed Sango Uncle's accomplishments. How did we miss that, chat? Sango Uncle has a showcase of medals that he has won with simping. What do you think that looks like, chat? What do you think Sango Uncle's showcase of medals look like from simping? This is what it looks like, chat. Of all the videos that Sango Uncle has made, simping for women, this is what he has collected so far. Okay, I think that was the last one. Yes, let's move on. Okay, so what's in here? Now, chat, I'm just gonna react to it low-key. I don't know totally everything that's in there, but I remember some of it. And I won't even share that my date. I would get that in, wait, what? I would get that in one go, to be honest, and I won't even share that with my date. What? Food. You know, I low-key wanna, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna go into my dates. But there were some dates where we used to split the bill, but we also used to split the food. But there were other times where I was taken advantage of as well. It's like one of those women, you know, who would only tell you they don't have the money when the bill arrives. Maybe you should have disclosed that before we went on a date, so I would have had the option to decline the date. But no, these cheap ass broke women will tell you when the bill arrives on the counter. No shame. I bet most men who don't have money don't even think about dating because it's embarrassing. But most women who don't have money, shamelessly, chat, would go on the dating app, would go on a date, would order the food, and would order the type of food that is very expensive. I once went to a bar, chat. This broke woman who doesn't have money, guess what she orders? Tennessee whiskey. You know how much it cost me? Per serve was $2,000. She ordered it thrice. $6,000 out of my pocket. Do you know what was my bill? $600. I consumed 10% of what she consumed. Imagine being so shamelessly broke that not only do you go on date, but you spend more than the guy spends. 10 times more. 50-50 for friends, but with girl, it's 100%. You have to pay, and in end she said, I like you as friend or worse, brother. To be honest, now that I'm with you on that somewhat. So I'm okay with 50-50 splitting if I am equally interested in going on a date with a girl. If I'm not interested in going on a date and she's asking me for it, I think she should pay the whole bill. Because you're compensating me for my time, right? You bought it. That's what I think. And so I haven't been on a date in 5 years because I haven't been interested. And that is my standard today, that if somebody wants to take me out on a date, they have to do all the work, they have to pay all the bills. If you're gonna put up, go ahead. If not, I don't want to go on a date. I'm not available. Anyway, chat. Let's do the reaction. Let's see what he's saying. It's 11 minutes. I'm just gonna skip through the relevant parts.
So where does patriarchy figure in all this?
Oh,
and how
yes.
do you think कि अगर patriarchy नहीं होगा तो हम इन सब से चीजों से rise up कर पाएंगे?
First, we have to understand India में the origin of patriarchy. जैसे मैंने बताया था caste जो है.
By the way, chat, what do you think about my new merch? New merch?
बर्थ बेस्ड सिस्टम है. अब इसमें वुमेन है, हाँ, सपोज आप क्षत्रिय वुमेन हो या ब्राह्मण वुमेन हो. अगर
So chat, here's where he's gonna talk about like the Indian context with Manusmriti. I have no idea.
आपको प्यार हो गया किसी दूसरे कास्ट के बंदे से, फिर तो वो कास्ट प्योरिटी ही खत्म हो गया. आपका क्या अफेयर हो गया किसी और केस से, तो उसमें भी आपका लॉस है. तो द मानुस्मृति जो है उसमें ऐसा कहा गया है, बंदी अगर शादी के टाइम में वर्जिन नहीं है, उसका अगर वो हाइमन जो है फटा हुआ है, उसके उंगलियां काट दो, बाल को ये कर दो और डोंकी पे बिठा के घुमाओ.
Whoa, what? Love it. You're looking better, bro. Your merch is rainbow colored. It is not rainbow colored. There is no rainbow here. It is just blue. It's blue. It's blue, orange, red. It doesn't have all the colors of a rainbow. It doesn't have green and stuff. So no, it's not a rainbow. So chat, is this true? Like what he's talking about? What? It is true? You're saying that they said if a woman is what?
कहा गया है
Is promiscuous, you want to cut her fingers?
और केस से, तो उसमें भी आपका लॉस है. तो द मनुस्मृति जो है उसमें ऐसा कहा गया है, बंदी अगर शादी के टाइम में वर्जिन नहीं है, उसका अगर वो हाइमन जो है फटा हुआ है, उसके उंगलियां काट दो, बाल को ये कर दो और डोंकी पे बिठा के घुमाओ।
What? Is that really true? Chat, are you being serious? I don't think that's a good idea though.
ये मनुस्मृति में लिखा है।
ये हिंदूवादी लोग ना वो कुरान को गाली देते हैं कि ये बाइबल को गाली देते हैं कि इसमें ये लिखा है वो लिखा, खुद का कभी पढ़ के देखा है उन्होंने? नहीं, वो तो बहुत कंट्रोवर्शियल हो जाएगा। बट हाँ, मनुस्मृति इज वेरी क्लियर कि वर्जिनिटी जो है वो इट्स वेरी ये, बिकॉज जब तक आप वुमन का सेक्सुअलिटी कंट्रोल करोगे तब तक वो
Cannot confirm. Okay, you know what? I have a friend who knows a lot of this stuff. Let me try to call him, see if he answers, and let me ask him. I don't know if he's available right now, but let me check. I asked him some questions, but I didn't ask him about this. Hold on, chat. I'm calling him. When will you cover the Chinese meta vid I shared with you? We can do tomorrow. I have a holiday tomorrow. I think I can try that. Cannot confirm, not read Manu. He's a simp bro, a typical nerd who is impressing girls while degrading his own culture. I get that, but are his arguments valid? Because I listened to him on his views about feminism and patriarchy, and they were not honest. So, which makes me skeptical whether or not his views on Hinduism and Manusmriti are honest or dishonest. That's what I want to know. Okay, so he's not available. Never mind. So I guess I can't confirm. This is the part I said I don't know about. So like, I can only comment on the patriarchy and feminism part. I don't know this Manusmriti shit.
ब्लड का
Let's ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Okay. Is there an audio function here? Yeah, use voice mod. Hello? Can you hear it?
Yes, I can hear you. How can I help you today?
Okay, listen, I have a question. So there's this guy on YouTube, and he says that in Manusmriti, if a woman's hymen was broken, they had suggested that her finger should be cut off. Is that true?
That sounds quite serious. Manusmriti is an ancient text and there are many interpretations of its verses. It's important to approach historical texts with an understanding of their context and the time they were written in. It's always best to consult scholars or reliable sources for accurate information about such topics. If you have concerns or questions, it might be helpful to talk to a knowledgeable person in that field.
Yeah, but hold on a second. You have the information from the scholars. Like you're the online encyclopedia almost. So can you just tell me what the scholars are saying about it? Is it true or not?
I understand your concern. Manusmriti is a complex and ancient text, and interpretations can vary widely. Most modern scholars emphasize that Manusmriti reflects the societal norms and values of its time, which are very different from today's standards. It's important to note that many interpretations of Manusmriti are not aligned with modern ethical or human rights standards.
Are you gonna answer my question? Cut the crap and just tell me, is it true or not?
I understand this is important to you. Historical texts like Manusmriti can be complex and open to interpretation. While some interpretations might suggest harsh or outdated practices, many scholars and communities do not support those views today. It's essential to approach such topics with sensitivity and an understanding of the historical context. If you have further questions, it might be helpful to consult experts in the field.
Did not answer my question!
I understand you're looking for clarity. Unfortunately, there are many harsh things said in that text that truly impact women's health and well-being. These things are not true for any culture or society. In fact, many history sources are unchanged. In this case, Manusmriti is a complex and ancient text, and interpretations are unreliable from today's.
Get the fuck out, okay? Get the fuck out. Chat, who invented this useless AI? I literally been wasting my time with it. Bitch can't answer a single question straight.
Why?
ChatGPT will not confirm? Yeah, why is ChatGPT like this? It was a simple, straightforward question. It's hairs, not fingers? This guy said fingers.
Manusmriti is very clear कि virginity जो है वो it's very because
लिखा है
उसमें भी आपका लॉस है. तो द मानुस्मृति जो है उसमें ऐसा कहा गया है बंदी अगर शादी के टाइम में वर्जिन नहीं है, उसका अगर वो हाइमन जो है फटा हुआ है, उसके उंगलियां काट दो,
See, he said they'll cut her fingers.
बाल को ये कर दो और डोंकी में बिठा के घुमा.
Yo, chat, if this is true, it's not that different from what they do in Taliban. I think it's probably worse. ChatGPT is feel-good AI. Bro, I get the feel-good, I get the biases, but like she's not even answering. He's not even answering the question. Like I asked him like 4 times and he's just beating around the bush. Anyway, we're just gonna move on then.
मनुस्मृति भी लिखा है
ये हिंदूवादी लोग ना वो कुरान को गाली देते हैं कि ये बाइबल को गाली देते हैं कि इसमें ये लिखा है वो लिखा, खुद का कभी पढ़ के देखा है उन्होंने? नहीं, वो तो बहुत कंट्रोवर्सी.
Okay, you know what? You know what? I have one more friend. Let me try him. Let me try him. I wonder if he'll answer my call. Hey Sarif? Hey Sarif, do you have a minute? Hello? Okay, Sarif, so first of all, before we go, I'm on a live stream, okay? So you are audible on the stream. I have a very important question about Hinduism. Can you answer that? Sorry, repeat that one more time.
Saying I might be able to, you can try, I might be able to.
Okay, so we're reacting to a very interesting leftist feminist guy on a video, okay? And he has a claim about Manusmriti. He says that Manusmriti said that if a woman's hymen was broken during marriage, they would, the Manusmriti suggested that her fingers should be cut off, her hair should be shaved, she should be sat on top of a donkey and ridden around the society. Is this true?
Can't you already tell, Mick, if this is true or not? See, Manusmriti, this view that someone is claiming, this is a Western view. And this was basically done when, we had Britishers ruling us, right? So basically what happened is, when Britishers were here, many people were reading Manusmriti at the time, many people were believing in it, right? However, many a times, you understand the difference between Hinduism and Islam and Christianity, right? All of Christianity and Islam they are a centralized system, right? Someone has the authority over it. There is a Pope, right? Islam is also centralized. However, Hinduism is not centralized, right? So, Britishers had many gurus or many pundits and whatnot bribed in order to tell people that, Manusmriti is this or that. They also had some books published saying that this is the real Manusmriti, and they quite edited it and they quite amended it, right? without any authority. Okay, the original one was always amended again and again and again. Okay, so if someone is claiming Manusmriti says this, that's complete bullshit, right? So you can ignore that leftist guy. Second, if you want to know, if it matters, if Manusmriti has said that, you need to read the real Manusmriti. And third, why does it even matter? Because you find any Hindu family out there, any Hindu family, in Delhi, Bangalore, you talk to anybody. No parents ever teach their kids, you know what, read Manusmriti. I mean, it's not demonized.
No, I get that. I get that.
Right?
But like, I'm simply trying to understand, is the historical claim accurate or not? Okay, so you said that
it's a Western narrative. It was used by Britishers to divide Hindus and to convert Hindus, and that is apparently seen. You can see right now as well that many people converted because Britishers said that this is what Manusmriti claims, this is what Manusmriti has, and then people got ashamed and people thought, oh, we don't want to be associated with a religion that with whose book says this about women. So Britishers wanted to convert Hindus to Christians, and that basically happened. And many a times the same narrative is used by Islamists, basically Muslims as well, to convert Hindus.
Okay.
And it's a bullshit narrative, it's a false narrative.
Okay. One last question. Okay, so you said it's not centralized like Christianity and Muslims.
Right.
But was there any version of Manusmriti where this was written?
Okay, when you say was there any version, right?
Okay, and along with that, can you also answer, did this actually happen? Like was there ever a practice like this that actually took place in reality?
Okay, so whenever someone claims, I mean, you can find many claims where leftists have said that Hindus used to, cut lower caste women's breasts in order to give them loans or in order to fulfill their loans. That was also a false narrative. Again, you can find the real narrative.
I know about that. No, I know.
You have heard of Op India website?
Wait. Yeah, I know that the breast tax claim was wrong. Right?
Yes.
That was debunked by Telegraph. There's an article there, but
no, the real one, you can find the source in Op India. All right, many leftists has peddle these kind of bullshit narratives just to make sure Hindus do not unite and
okay. But just answer my question. Was there ever? Is there any version of Manusmriti where this was written, and was there ever a practice like this? Maybe, so you can write anything in the book, but did anybody practice that? Like maybe some small pocket somewhere in India which actually did this? Did that have
practice what? Can you repeat? Practice what? Exactly?
Yeah, so he said if the hymen of a woman is broken during marriage, they would cut her fingers, shave her hair, put her on top of a donkey, and ride her around. Did they ever?
Of course, it never happened. And if it ever happened, okay, tell me one thing. Let's say if it ever happened. I mean, of course, there are like lunatics in every communities, right? So let's say if one person from somewhere in UP did it, that person's name is Ramesh. Do you think like that makes all the Hindus or even the Manusmriti actually says to do it? Of course not. Right? I'm not saying it has ever happened. It has not happened. You can find this kind of a narrative. You can Google, simply Google about this.
Well, I called you because I tried asking ChatGPT. I asked it 4 times and it just wouldn't answer my goddamn question.
Again, ChatGPT has sources from Wikipedia mostly.
But it's not even answering the question. I ask the question and it just keeps reciting a template response that Manusmriti requires scholarly representation, it has many different interpretations, blah 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 blah. It just wouldn't answer it. But anyway,
how about I do something? Okay, I know I've heard about this narrative and this is a false narrative. However, to get the reference, I need to get a person on the line, and you probably know that person. You remember Wish?
No, we don't need to go that far. I think you answered my question, but I was just checking because I
Ignore that.
yeah, like I have like no information on this shit, so I just thought I'd call somebody who knows a little bit or more. So yeah. Thank you for answering the question. And by the way, nice talking to you after a long time.
It's been a pleasure. And one more thing, Nick. Any leftist person who ever asks you a question on Hinduism, just tell him, if you actually believe on communism, do you actually believe communists actually killed 100 million people all over the world in the last few decades? I mean, in the last century? They will never say that ever happened, but New York Times says, and Washington Post also says that leftists killed 100 million people when they brought in the revolution. But they never say that that has ever happened, and they ignore it, and they say that that's also a false narrative. All right, so these leftists just want one thing: to divide Hindus. All right, and that's why they peddle these bullshit narratives, so that Hindus get guilted into their religion, and then they seek and they convert to any other religion, because apparently Manusmriti says so. And one more thing, no family in India, all right, mostly I would say like 95%, 99% even, no family, even I know so many Hindu families, no family teaches their kids that, you know what, read Manusmriti. Nobody says it. They still peddle it because that's the only weapon they have apparently, and that weapon has also been invented by the Britishers. Yeah,
I can relate to that. Even in the families that I've observed, they don't really teach Manusmriti. They probably teach Ramayana or Gita or something like that.
Nick, let me tell you, my family, they have always taught me like Ramayana, Mahabharata, and you know what? I am 33 right now, right? I got to know there exists something like Manusmriti when I was 29, and that too I found out in Clubhouse. Being a Hindu myself, even I did not know even Manusmriti existed, because my parents never teach it. Temples don't teach it. It's just bullshit peddling done by leftists, and it's a very common thing, and we have noticed this many a times, and we have countered it, right? So if you want to know the source, if it's if it has ever happened, then you will need to get into touch with Wish, and I can get that done if you have time.
Okay, it's not necessary right now based on what we are talking about, but I think this is good enough. But I'll reach out to you if in the future I need more info on anything else.
All right, and one more thing, this kind of narrative is also peddled by Romila Thapar. Right? She's also a leftist professor at a time, and apparently a historian.
Okay.
India, it's again bullshit.
Okay. That's not our topic today, but that's some other time. But yeah, you helped me out a lot.
Do send me the link where this stream is going on. I would love to see it.
Okay, sure. I'll send it to you. I'm sending it to you right now.
All
right. Bye, Saraf. Take care.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
So chat, what do you think about his opinion? That was my Hindu friend. I think some of it is valid. I can't verify the rest of it, because I don't have any expertise. But I think the claim about whether or not Manusmriti actually gets used and taught in homes is actually true, because even I was raised in a Hindu family, and even I didn't know about Manusmriti. It was mostly all Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita and stuff like that. So I think that part is true. I don't know about the rest. You can draw your own conclusion whether you want to believe him or not. Okay, he said send him the link, so let me just do that, otherwise he'll get upset. So yeah, chat, let's move on. There's a different version of it. Yeah, so that's what everybody's saying, that there are different versions of it. But like why would he select the version that favors his agenda? Like, if you want to give a neutral opinion, he should have said, oh, there are multiple versions of it, right? In one of the version, it is this. He should have presented some evidence if the practice actually took place, how prevalent was the practice, because I think those are important details for us to know whether or not this was actually a large scale issue, right? Or was it just like, oh, it's like crimes, right? Like, of course there's murder in the society, but like, can you really connect it to a religion? Like, let's just say if a guy goes to a church, does a mass shooting, and then takes the Jesus name, does that really mean that Jesus told him to do that act of violence? So Christianity as a religion is bad and promotes mass shooting? Probably not. I think most people would say no, right? So if you want to say that Hinduism is corrupt because of Manusmriti, I think you need to connect a lot of the dots. You would need to prove that Hindus really, follow Manusmriti as like my friend said, like as a centralized script, right? This is the rule book that we are following, all of us, right? Like Muslims have Quran, right? So if you're saying Hinduism has Manusmriti, do all Hindus abide by Manusmriti? And then what is the consistent teachings of that Manusmriti? And does that get practiced in the society? Is it prevalent? Other than that, like, it's a very shallow narrative. So let's move on.
कंट्रोवर्शियल हो जाएगा बट मनुस्मृति इज वेरी क्लियर कि वर्जिनिटी जो है वो इट्स वेरी ये बिकॉज जब तक आप वुमन का सेक्सुअलिटी कंट्रोल करोगे तब तक वो ब्लड का प्योरिटी है कास्ट का प्योरिटी बन के रहेगा वुमन जाके किसी और से ये कर लेगी फिर तो वो खत्म है ना तो दैट इज द रूट ऑफ ट्राइंग टू कंट्रोल वुमन वाला थिंग एंड द सेम रीजन व्हेन मनुस्मृति इज क्लियर
Wait, so that doesn't make any logical sense though. If a woman sleeps with somebody else and caste purity is diluted by doing that, same thing would happen if a man sleeps with a woman of a different caste is still being diluted.
बन के रहेगा वुमन जाके किसी और तब तक वो ब्लड का प्योरिटी है कास्ट का प्योरिटी बन के रहेगा वुमन जाके किसी और से ये कर लेगी फिर तो वो खत्म है ना
What are you talking about, dude? If the caste purity is diluted, they're diluted by both genders.
So that is the root of trying to control women वाला thing. And the same reason when Manusmriti is clear कि women को education नहीं देना चाहिए because educated woman means woman with an आवाज़ अब वो आवाज़ होगी तो वो क्वेश्चन करेगी बोलेगी नहीं मैं मेरे पसंद के लड़के से करूँगी या मैं किसी और से करूँगी ये से करूँगी वो क्वेश्चन करने लग जाएगी.
No, bro, he's spreading misinformation. It wasn't there. There is a different version. Okay, I read that. He wants attention and want to sound like an intellectual as well. That is, I did see this video before. It did sound to me like it's arrogant. As I go along, I think you'll see that part as well. But yeah, there is a arrogant, condescending attitudes among some people, and I think he could be seen as one of them. And also, it's irresponsible behavior to quote without reference. True, they never give sources because if sources are given, it will contradict their position. So why give sources? Also, Hindus don't really follow one single book. Exactly. Hindus follow Firangi, not Manusmriti. We don't do yoga, we do yoga. We don't say Karamphal, we now say karma. Okay, I don't know the depth of your argument there, probably. He's Dhoni's slapstick comedy.
जाएगी अगर वुमन क्वेश्चन करना शुरू करती है तो वो कास्ट का जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो बैठेगा नहीं.
This is very rhetoric driven narrative, you know, like, it's like we're just telling you stories, believe us.
मैनेज कर लेगी तो स्टार्टिंग उससे हुआ राइट नाउ ऑल्सो द वे मेल सिस्टम वर्क्स लड़कों को सोसाइटी टेल्स देम दैट यू नो व्हाट इफ यू आर अ मैन योर वैल्यू तुम्हारा जो मैस्कुलिनिटी है इट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन भाई तुम कितने पैसे कमाते हो तुम कितने मैस्कुलिन हो तुम्हारे मसल्स कैसे है तुम्हारा हाइट कितना है तुम्हारे ये कैसे एक सर्टेन इमेज बनाता है कि अगर
Yeah, but who raises the demand for these things? It's the women who practice hypergamy, right?
तुम ऐसे हो तो तुम यू आर अ मोर ऑफ अ मर्द अगर कम पैसे कमाते हो तो तुम्हारा सेल्फ वर्थ पे सवाल अगर तुम्हारी हाइट छोटी है तो सेल्फ वर्थ पे सवाल तुम्हारा दाढ़ी ढंग से नहीं उगती तो हाइट सेल्फ वर्थ पे सवाल बहुत ऐसे एक्सपेक्टेशंस डालता है ना फेमिनिज्म इज trying to question his expectation. Even women, it's a different sort of an expectation. For a woman, don't be too loud, too outspoken. लड़के डर जाएंगे हाँ ज़्यादा पढ़ लिख लेगी तो इसे शादी कौन करेगा because guys are insecure. ज़्यादा पढ़ लिख लेगी तो सवाल करेगी. I don't know.
Guys are insecure.
Most
Show Dick some respect.
Source trust me, bro.
Sources. Dude, trust me. Citation 1, it is known. Citation 2, it is known. Citation 3, it is...
So, chat,
Sources.
talking about...
Dude,
talking about...
trust me.
Wait, what? Why
Citation
did it
1,
come back?
it is known. Citation 2...
Okay, so chat, I was looking at an interesting statistic last week. So when he's claiming that that women have different standards. They're not the ones that raise the standard for height of men, body of men, hair of men, income of men. Now, I'm not going to go over the income part because we've discussed that multiple times. All right, it's starting to get boring pretty much right now. But let's talk about height for a second, okay? Let me see if I can find this. So I came across this survey from Survey Center of American Life. I don't think this is a biased survey because as per my research, this organization is not left or right wing. However, I might be wrong, so double check it. Okay, so here it says height, too tall or too short. Height matters more to women than it does to men. The men who are willing to date women that are much taller than them are 32% men. No, wait, I'm reading it wrong. No, Chad, I'm reading it wrong. Let me read it again. It says percentage of Americans who said they would be less likely to date someone who is much shorter. Men, 11% of men will not date somebody who's much shorter. 32% of men will not date somebody who's much taller than them. So that means 68% of men, a vast majority, will date a woman who's taller than them. So they're not insecure about height, at least, right? Now let's take a look at women. Women will not date a guy. 56% of women will not date a guy if the guy is shorter than them. Vast majority of women will not date him. Vast majority. So who is insecure? And who raises these expectations from men for height, masculinity? Is it patriarchy or is it women? Women practice 666 things. Yeah, that 6 feet thing. I think it's a little exaggerated. They ask for it in these interviews, street interviews, but they probably do that just to trigger the guys because they enjoy bullying you. In reality, what percentage of men even have 6 feet height? Okay, what percentage of... Let's take a look at American men because they're taller than us, right? So what percentage of American men have 6 feet height? 14%. Now let's take a look at Indian men. 1% of the population of India are taller than 6 feet. But she wants a 6 feet guy. Anyway, yeah, so I think these expectations are unrealistic in nature. It's just created to I think it is true that women do this to attack insecurities of men, actually to create insecurities among men and then attack them for it, right? Just like people would slut shame women because they know women have insecurity about being married due to their promiscuous behavior, and so there is a way to bully them for that, right? You can do the same thing with their body type. Hey, you need to be skinny, you know. If you have a little bit of fat on you, you're ugly. You need to look fair-skinned. If you're dusky, it's not good enough, right? But all of those blames, these feminists will blame this on us, that men raise these standards of virginity, of body type, of skin complexion. So then when we're talking about standards that women are putting in for boys, which is related to height, income, hair, why are you blaming patriarchy for that? You should take the blame for it.
Most men in India, they can't accept the fact कि भाई I can be in a relationship with someone जो मुझे इंटेलेक्चुअली कभी चैलेंज कर पाए. दे वांट कि भाई लड़की वो शांत से हो, भोली बाली सी, ऐसे ये जो बोलूंगी कर देगी.
No, it's just a narrative. Like, what do you even want me to say about this?
That is why feminism से लड़कों को इतना दिक्कत होता है, because feminist.
He would take a whole argument against feminism and isolate it to men are insecure because they can't handle educated women with intellect.
Women are women with a voice, and वो हर इस बात पे ये हो के नहीं बैठे.
I hate when manosphere creators talk about respect women.
नहीं बैठेंगे. Question कर
Well, look, I'm not actually talking about respect women, but at the same time, I'm not going to discredit myself by saying that you disrespect women. The only time I advocate for disrespecting women is when women are disrespecting us. Because then I have an argument.
करेंगे इंटेलेक्चुअली आपको ये करेंगे चैलेंज करेंगे men don't like challenge क्योंकि अभी सदियों तक क्या चलते आ रहा था वुमन का क्या काम था घर
Bro, literally, we take challenges all our lives.
पे देखते थे चुप से रहते
It's all excuse. If you have money, women will date 90-year-old grandpa too. That is true. Yes. I don't understand why do people give importance to women so much. Well, and see, this is why we started the way we started. It's not. See, it's like you're given two choices: logic and feminism, and then comes the simps who have to choose between the two, and they choose to wear a skirt and go the feminism way. Why? Because it makes them look good, because women come with a lot of virtues. Some would argue that it helps them get pussy. I actually think it doesn't help them get pussy. It's just, they just chase for it. They don't actually get it.
रहते थे हाँ जो हो जाता था now women are also being educated and questioning and all. Men don't like that. So these are the gender dynamics in India में अभी भी there are a lot of women they are told क्यों 30 से पहले शादी करो उसके बाद कौन शादी करेगा आपसे ज़्यादा पढ़ लिख लोगे तो कौन बिकॉज ऐसा हमारे दिमाग में क्यों है दैट मैन हैज़ टू अर्न मोर ऐसा क्यों लड़के भी इनसिक्योर हो जाते हैं कि लड़की जब ज़्यादा कमाती है तो
I am making a video on this and it's gonna come out next week. This whole argument that men are insecure if women make more money than them is completely baseless. I've debunked it 3 times on stream already with statistical studies to the point that it is starting to get boring. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm just going to put it in a video and I'm going to give him a cameo in that video.
तो ये सब जो expectations हो जाते हैं ना they limit what you can do.
Then they root this cause to the times when वो hunter gatherer के time पे like we are coming from those.
So let's skip a little bit.
सकते हैं हम भी लाइफ में आगे जा सकते हैं पता है ब्राह्मणों ने क्या कहा अरे आप एज अ मैन द गेम वाज वेरी सिंपल आप पैसे कमा लो अरेंज मैरिज हो जाएगा जितने ज़्यादा पैसे कमाओगे उतना आपको ज़्यादा दहेज मिल जाएगा उतनी सुंदर लड़की आपको मिल जाएगी अभी क्या है यू हैव टू गो यू हैव टू टॉक यू हैव टू कम्युनिकेट यू हैव टू इम्प्रेस द गर्ल एंड दैट दे आर लाइक ओ हमारा तो इतने सदियों से
What happened? Wait. I'm really trying to understand this. He just said a little bit ago that there should be no double standards and there should be no gender roles. And then he claims that now that women are educated, men are feeling insecure because now it's not that easy to get married. They have to approach the women, impress them, and talk to them. But I thought you were against gender roles. So why is it on men to approach them and to impress them? Can women not do the same thing?
they had that power now arranged marriage में तो बात नहीं बन रही है they have to go and talk communicate अब they are like oh नहीं वो अभी मूवी आई है ना
Funny thing is that the things he's belittling men for, ironically, in his own statement, those are the things that women are insecure about. So if you need men to approach you and impress you, that means women are the ones that are insecure. Women are the ones that do not have the courage. Women are the ones that are pussy to approach men. And men are having to take the burden to do their work for them. So who is in position of power in this scenario?
ना Mrs. MRS करके हाँ उसमें that's what it talks कि educated woman है why should she देखिए 2 लोग हैं लड़का एजुकेटेड है लड़की एजुकेटेड है दोनों जॉब कर रहे हैं दोनों कमा रहे हैं why is it expected that the girl should do house labor as well लड़का भी कुकिंग क्या हिस्टोरिकली लड़कियां ही कर रही है इसका ये मतलब लड़का काट नहीं सकता सब्जी को या पका नहीं सकता
Bro, do you know what percentage of chefs are men in the world? %98.5%. 98.5% of the chefs in the world are men, and you think men cannot cook? If men didn't want to do the house labor, it would be because of one of the two reasons. It's either that we are compensating for the lack of our financial contribution by working harder at our jobs, which means we're putting more hours at our job. So then you need to compensate for our lack of contribution in house labor by doing our work for us, correct? Because the responsibility, if you're saying, should be distributed equally, then if I'm compensating for you in money, you compensate for me in house labor at the bare minimum. What do you mean we can't cook? We be cooking and we be feeding everybody forever.
And surprisingly and contrastingly, all the chefs, like major chefs, they're all males.
Yeah.
So she knows, but they intentionally decide to be stupid.
घर पे बनाने में problem आती है.
Yeah. तो ये जो
Yeah, because when you bring a wife, you have to do more. Okay. Let's take a look. How many hours do Indian men work in employment compared to the global average? As per International Labour Organization statistics, the average weekly worked hours by employees range from 27 to 54 among countries worldwide, making more than twofold variation in hours worked. Indians work 46.7 hours per week compared to... I want to know just the Indian men. Okay, let's type a different prompt. Do Indian men work more than the global average? India is among the most overworked nations in the world, with 51% of its workforce clocking more than 49 hours per week. This places India second only to Bhutan, where 61% of workers exceed the 49-hour threshold. So, India is number 2 in the amount of overwork that its workforce does. Now, what percentage of the labor force are men? Indian labor force. 77% of Indian workforce is men. They're one of the most overworked people in the entire world, right? And why? Because women don't want to contribute their share of the financial contribution because they don't go to work. So if we are compensating for you, how would we have time to do the housework? Even if we had time, why would we do it? Okay, so it isn't enough that I'm feeding you. Now I need to even make food for you, clean for you. What would women do? Just sit there like babies? Should I also make you wear the diapers?
जो social roles है ना, ये biological नहीं है, cultural है. So that is what feminism questions. ये biological.
By the way, who is this guy and why does this opinion right now? Somebody sent this in a React channel on Discord. He's a Instagram influencer, from what I can tell. This is on Instagram. Apparently, 248,000 people follow him. Pulls in about 1 million views on all of this garbage.
Women can go into any. Women are CEOs of companies. Are they less capable? No. They're as good as male CEO. Women can do those things. Men can do those things. Why should we put restriction? Girls who are taller in height. उनका ये रहता है पेरेंट्स की इतनी लंबी से कौन शादी करेगा. और जो girls who are taller in height. उनका ये रहता है पेरेंट्स की इतनी लंबी.
Buddy, this is the problem. We build storylines and narratives without actually fact-checking our claims. 68% of the men do not mind dating a woman who's taller than them. What are we talking about here?
लंबी से कौन शादी करेगा? Like why does the girl have to be short? Like why does it matter?
I think ego कहीं ना कहीं
Yeah,
satisfy
exactly.
करती
So
है.
We have the ego. We have the ego. The 68% of male population that will marry a woman taller than them, but 56% of women that won't marry a guy shorter than them. And it's men who have the ego.
the problem which men have with feminism is that it hurts their ego. Simple as that. हाँ. उनके ईगो पे आ जाते हैं, वो क्या करते हैं, अतुल सुभाष करके बैठ जाते हैं, ये कुछ करते हैं, बट मुद्दा यही है, ईगो पे आता है उनका. That's the thing. So
are only males patriarchal?
अब पेट्रियार्की जो है माइंडसेट है. हाँ, वुमेन कैन बी पेट्रियार्कल बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ वुमेन व्हेन दे वांट टू परस्यू सर्टेन हायर एजुकेशन, उनका मॉम खुद बोलेगी उनको, बेटा ये ज़्यादा पढ़ लोगे तो शादी का ये नहीं मिलेगा. एंड अरेंज मैरिजेस आर लाइक दैट ओनली. इंडिया में अरेंज मैरिज का सीन बहुत खराब है. लोग डेटिंग ऐप्स को गाली देते हैं, बट अरेंज मैरिज हैव टू लुक.
Believe him. You know what I realized about him when I was
marriage
watching the
na?
video is that every once in a while you ask him an intellectual question, he gives a dishonest answer. You know why? Because intellectuality breaks his brain. Like it bends. Okay. Sometimes you'll see him talking and his forehead will shrink like this. Because processing facts, logics, and critical thinking is very difficult for him.
बिजनेस डीलिंग हो गया है.
See how hard he talks.
डेटिंग ऐप्स को गाली देते हैं, बट अरेंज मैरिज हैव टू लुक. अरेंज मैरिज में ना बिजनेस डीलिंग
Yeah, he's using all of his brain power to come up with this.
हो गया है, बिजनेस डीलिंग हो गया है. लड़कों का वैल्यू इज डिटरमाइंड बाय अगेन दिस मैस्कुलिन थिंग्स. कितना कमाता है, क्या जॉब रोल है, कितना लंबा है, कितना ये है. फीमेल का उतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता कितना कमाती है, दिखना अच्छा चाहिए उसको. है ना, एक सर्टेन फिजिकल लुक्स पे जाते हैं कि ऐसा ये होना.
And the way he speak like he stretched the word sounds like a fanboy. As per the society, the role of a man in marriage are pushed as providers, but these modern simp society doesn't push women of certain role. It's her choice, so double standards. Well, to him, he thinks that everything that women perpetuate, like these hypergamous standards, these standards about height, income, whatever, he thinks that's because of not women, but it's patriarchy. But any standards that men push on women, like of virginity, of body, of skin complexion, he thinks that's also because of patriarchy. What is patriarchy? Patriarchy is just a thinly veiled, it's a jargon, but it's called thinly veiled misandry. It just basically means you don't want to directly blame the men, but indirectly blame the men. Because if you check the definition of patriarchy, right? It says a system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family. Okay, so every time he says patriarchy, it basically means it's the men who are responsible for it. So to this guy, the standards that women push on men, which is of income, right? He accepted it himself. Well, it's because of patriarchy. It's not because of women, it's because of men. How? I don't know. But it is because of men. And then all the standards that men push on women, virginity, body count, attractiveness, skin complexion, that is also because of patriarchy, which is men. Both ways, I have to take a blame.
women का the thing is, men का ऐसा सोचना है कि यार women को हर जगह एडवांटेज मिल जाता है, ये मिल जाता है. But what they don't realize is that society में if you're a good looking woman, you get so much attention. Then when people try to talk to you, you don't know कि ये बंदा मुझे लाइन मार रहा है, actually genuinely interested है. If you have.
So what does that mean? So that means that women are privileged. It's like it's a problem that rich people have, right? Rich people have this problem that if you have too much money, you don't know who your friends are. Because like you cannot differentiate between the people who are making friends with you because of money versus the ones who are making friends with you because they're interested in you. Compared to somebody who's poor, they know that whoever wants to be friends with them is not making friends because of money, because they don't have any money at all, right? So whoever is friends with them for them. But for rich people, it's an exclusive problem that they cannot tell who's who. So if you're saying that women, when they're being approached, they cannot tell.
Have that when people try to talk to you, you don't know कि ये बंदा मुझे line मार रहा है या actually genuinely interested.
Okay, so you don't know if the guy is actually genuine or he's actually a pervert who's trying to flirt with you. Yeah, because you're rich in men trying to approach you. Why? Because like you said earlier, you think that because now that women are educated and they have intellect, it's the challenge for men to approach them and try to impress them. So you advocated for men to approach women and for women to be on the receiving side, and then women ended up having access of reception, right? So they became rich in the amount of men approaching them. Now they're struggling to decide who is genuine and who is not. And somehow in all of this is your logic to try to tell us that men are privileged, men have the power. But as per your very own logic, you're actually saying the opposite.
Interested in. If you have that problem in your mind, it's going to affect you. This is a real problem which men don't realize.
No, we realize. It's like you're the one who's telling us to create this problem.
Again,
Brahmin, don't talk ill about her mother. We don't have to resort low level like this. Yeah, I would take that advice. We can do it without getting down there. Loyalty, marriage, protection is also patriarchy. Google per Sarge Karna par. Unfortunately, this type of guys are most followed or most famous. Yes. 250,000 followers. Yes. What a sad time. Yes. It really is a sad time. Did he ever talk about women's rights in other religions? In his Insta? I guess not. No, he's a leftist. So if I understand leftism correctly, they selectively target Hinduism in India. And they probably defend Islam because Islam is a minority religion. So therefore, anything that is minority. And they're against everything that is majority, I guess. Loyalty, marriage, protection, monogamy, alimony, maintenance is also part of patriarchy, but feminists support this. Inko ye chahiye. Yeah, exactly. I bet he's never taken a look at that document that I once showed on stream, where the NCW and Women and Child Welfare Ministry lobbied the Malimat Committee. Malimat Committee was a committee formed by the Supreme Court justices to expand the maintenance and alimony laws from wives to girlfriends. They're like, it isn't enough that wives are getting it. Girlfriends who are living in with men should also get maintenances. Who advocated for it? National Commission for Women. And Women and Child Welfare Ministry. But who will take the blame for this? Patriarchy. Okay, so it's patriarchy. So National Commission of Women is patriarchy.
Again, this is why feminist discourse is important. लोगों को क्या लगता है feminism मतलब लड़की ने दारू पी लिया, feminism मतलब लड़की ने सूटा फूंक दिया.
Bro, if you really want to know people's argument against feminism, you should ask the people who are arguing against feminism instead of deciding it for us.
That's a बहुत basic level understanding. But when you go to the
These people sit around in an echo chamber with everybody who agrees with them, and they pretend to beat us. Bro, we're not even there. Okay, that's not our argument.
root जो feminist
Wives and girlfriend alimony, what a bunch of beggars these are.
theorists है, इन्होंने ये सब चीजों को
Bro, I don't think slave owners are beggars.
क्वेश्चन किया है. Why should men be in a certain way? Why should women be in a certain way? ये सब social rules हैं क्यों? किस बात का?
Chat, you know what? I forgot about a roast. No, I think I did that. See, chat, where is Sango Uncle's meme? See, chat, this is what it looks like. It's like, this is the idea of feminism in alimony and maintenance. Okay? It's like, every morning, woman will come to you like a farmer trying to milk the cow until the cow is sucked dry. Okay? But apparently, simps like Sango Uncle enjoy that process. So yeah, so I don't think these are beggars. These are farmers, plantation owners.
When you try to question, I think it'll open options, choices for people.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Choices of what? Choices to abuse?
how would you define feminism for you?
So feminism, basically, if you see society
Let me guess, he'll give the bestest definition of feminism.
has imposed certain social norms. So masculinity हो गया कि मर्द को एक तरीके से रहना है. मर्द जो है वो पैसे कमाएगा, वो प्रोटेक्ट करेगा, वो माचो बन
Yeah, and feminism is the one that is making those rules, right?
के मसल्स बना के ऐसा वो एक इमेज हो गया है. वुमेन के लिए ऑल्सो जैसे सर्टन इमेज. वुमेन है तो वो बहुत केयरिंग, नर्चरिंग रहेगी, इमोशनल सी रहेगी, वो लोगों का बात सुनेगी, बहुत काम रहेगी. ये भी एक इमेज सा हो गया. नो दीज इमेज जो स्ट्रक्चर्स है, दे आर वेरी लिमिटिंग टू पीपल. टू
Why, if he doesn't want to follow social rules, why doesn't he funk with his mind? Bro, you need to chill. Chad, you need to chill. Let me fix this real quick. Wait a second, where is it?
क्वेश्चन दी स्ट्रक्चर्स इज फेमिनिज्म. एंड व्हेन यू क्वेश्चन दी स्ट्रक्चर्स, ऑप्शंस खुल जाते हैं. जो वुमन जिसको बताया गया कि मान लो इफ अ गर्ल शी इज नेचुरली इंटरेस्टेड इन गोइंग टू द जिम, उसको बॉडी बिल्डर बनना है, बट लोगों ने बताया कि मसल बनाओगे तो वो मर्द वाली बात है, मत करो, कोई लड़का आपको नहीं देखेगा. तो वो स्ट्रक्चर कुड लिमिट दैट गर्ल्स चॉइस. बट आप ये स्ट्रक्चर को हटा दोगे, क्या पता उसको उसी में खुशी मिले, उसको बॉडी बिल्डर ही बनना हो या कुछ उसको मुझे मैस्कुलिन चीज करना हो, उसी में उसको खुशी मिले. तो व्हेन यू
Yeah, the difference is, see how he makes his argument? He says, people discourage women from going to the gym. They say that no man will take interest in you if you have a masculine body type. So then he says, we shouldn't put these social restrictions on women because everybody should have equal opportunities. And if she's interested in building a body, she wants to be a bodybuilder, she should be able to. Yeah. So the problem is that you have a choice to be a bodybuilder, and men have a choice to not choose you if you're a bodybuilder. And that's fair. But what's wrong in your statement is that you want women to have a choice to be bodybuilder, but you don't want men to say that I will not choose you. So you don't want men to have the choices. So are you pro-choice or against choice? Which side are you on, bruh?
dismantle these structures, you give people opportunities. When you have equal opportunity for everyone,
how is it
that
equal
when you have
opportunity?
feminism. That is, you have this idea of equality. Equality मतलब ये नहीं कि लड़का ने लड़की को मार दिया तो लड़की, वो नहीं है, वो बच्चों वाले चीजें हैं. It's more, theoretical. हाँ.
Right.
Yeah.
So constitution में हम देखते हैं constitution laws, like I have like talked to a few lawyers, so they also agree that laws are essentially bent towards women.
What do you think he will say to that now? Bro is gonna use all of his brain power to answer this.
More. So do you think that is the need of the hour? क्योंकि हमने अतुल सुभाष case we saw going wrong.
Oh no! She asked him Atul Sabash question. Pro-choice for women against choice for men? Yeah, selective choices.
There are
That's their definition of equality.
so many other cases, like lawyers discuss that these days अभी क्या हो रहा है कि आपके divorce के cases या फिर क्या बोलते हैं उसके dowry के and everything, people misuse. So आपको लगता है कि now is the time when you have to bring this equality in Indian constitution?
Oh my god,
laws,
he's struggling. Did you see his face?
now is the time when you have to bring this equality in.
Oh my god, look at his face, Chad. Hold on. No, this deserves a screenshot. Bro is sweating. Hold on, Chad. Bro is struggling to process the argument. He doesn't know what she said. I think she may have asked him a question that is outside of his league. Oh, you asked me the Atul Subhash question. Oh, the one-sided laws. How do I answer this? My brain is struggling, bruh.
in Indian constitutional laws also, या
this is what I was talking about. I was telling you earlier that he struggles.
जरूरत
He's
है.
frustrated.
अभी women are still not at that level where जहाँ पे आप at least laws की equality की बात करो.
I'll give you one very example.
What do you mean by that?
At least laws की equality की बात करो.
I'll give you
Wait. Say that again.
Constitutional laws also, या फिर अभी जरूरत है. अभी women are still not at that level where जहाँ पे आप at least laws की equality की बात करो.
Okay, so see, the problem is that, again, so you were just saying, right, chat, is that they talk about selective equality. And this is a perfect demonstration of that. We want equality, but we don't want equality in the laws. Why? Because women need favoritism. So you want equality where it benefits you, and then you don't want equality where it doesn't benefit you. And then who is deciding that? Women's advocates. So who is in power? Women. But yet, what is our society? Patriarchy. How does that even make sense? There's this argument that, society should first be equal and then we'll give equal laws. But here is my representation of their argument. Okay. So these feminists would basically take a fish and put it in a bowl and expect it to do the swimming, as you can see on the left side. Now, if the fish doesn't have water in the bowl, how can it swim? It can't even survive. This is a dead fish, because in order for you to have the equality fish, okay, let's just put it right. Like, hold on. See, we'll just make it simple. Okay. Equality fish. Oops. 25. Okay, here's your equality fish without water. No, I think we need to do a better job. Okay, so this is equality fish. Without equality. No. Let's make it without equal loss. What the fuck is happening here? Wonderful. WM. So chat. Okay, so now it's simple, right? Okay. Where is full screen? So chat, here's what equality looks like for feminists. It's like they'll put a fish in a fishbowl without the water and expect it to swim. It doesn't happen, because in order for the equality fish to survive and swim, it requires water. What is water? Water would be equal laws. You don't give them equal laws, the equality doesn't exist without equal laws, right? Whereas, here's a second approach, is that you put a fish in a bowl of water. See? Happy fish chat. This is how it works. You need the right environment for the right agenda to succeed, right? So if you want equality, you have to create an environment for the equality to flourish, right? So you need to, before you put a fish somewhere, you need to have the right environment for it. But no, these guys want to do the opposite. These guys are waiting for first the equality to happen, and then they will make the laws. That is just like putting the cart before the horse. So what are we doing here? Cart will push the horse?
I'll give you one very example, practical example. बहुत recently हुआ था. There was a guy who was traveling in a
Chat, keep in mind, he has thought his hardest to give this answer.
train. किसी और बंदा ने आके he kissed him and he grabbed his private parts.
What is the relevance of this answer to the question? What? Bro. Hold on. You used all of your brain power to give this answer? He asked you a very simple question. Should laws be gender equal? Given that cases like Atul Subash are happening where women are taking advantage of favoritism and abusing men, should there be equality in the laws? Right? Your answer is that there was a case in the train where a man sexually assaulted another man. What is the relevance of this answer to the question that she asks you? And keeping in mind that you have thought your hardest, as you can see, you used all of your brain power, 100%, and this is the answer that you came up with? This is your answer.
लड़का उठा, उस बंदे को धोया अच्छे से and he tried to complain to the police कि इसने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया है.
What are you guys saying? Wouldn't buy thanks for 400. Who sent $400? A general thumb rule is never take advice of Indian uncle in relationship. Their prime goal of life is getting praises from Babiji audience. Yes, it's about demographics for sure. Yeah, I was going to comment on the video. Just wait until your wife is on bed with her ex and how she puts you in jail. I think the people who talk like this, the arrogant ones, their arrogance comes from the fact that it hasn't happened to them. So these people are the survivors of it, right? And so they have this demeaning attitude towards those who don't survive. It's like, we made it, you didn't make it, it must be your fault. But you know, in reality, it's the circumstances that decide what percentage of people can realistically make it through and what percentage cannot. Like, I think we can all agree, probably, that not every woman has been sexually assaulted, even as per the statistics. So the ones that haven't been sexually assaulted, do not look down upon the women that have been sexually assaulted and tell them that your problems don't matter. But men have a very different attitude towards other men. They think because something hasn't happened to them, the ones that are struggling should be insulted. Amelie, did I miss something? You missed the roast. You can rewind back to the beginning of the stream. You can check the roast. We have some of the roasts left. A little bit. Still busy in bombing Ukraine, bro. What explain? Okay, you just got it. Why is he talking about men assaulting men? Exactly, that's what I'm trying to ask. What is the relevance? Bro, he looks like he's a serial molester from his ankle. Simps never disappoint women. Bro, he looks like he has trying to impress this woman.
But Indian,
I think I'm not saying that in the romantic context, but it is somewhat true that so if you are going to try to impress your customer, if you've created your whole identity that I am a savior for XYZ people, right? Whatever that group is, for him the group might be certain castes, right? And women. So I'm going to save these people. Why? Because they will parade me around like a hero. So what is my reward? I get treated like a hero. That's my reward. And for that validation, they're willing to stoop to any level of depth to get that validation. So they will defend their group even if they do something wrong.
Indian legal system में ऐसा कोई law ही नहीं है which can file a case कि एक लड़का दूसरे लड़के का sexual harassment कर सकता है.
But that's not the point. She was not asking you
Because
that.
हमारे laws इतने patriarchal है, उनको लगता है यार मर्द है उसके साथ कैसे sexual harassment हो सकता है, वो सोच में ही गड़बड़ी है. तो आप देखोगे जो
When it came to acknowledging the crimes committed by women, He just changed the topic and started talking about crimes committed by men on other men.
जितने laws हैं जिसमें women को
And then he says it's us men who have ego and insecurity. I think the only men who have ego and insecurity are the feminist men who cannot accept that women can commit crimes.
फेवर किया जाता है. It is not कि feminist वे में फेवर किया जाता है. It is patriarchal वे में फेवर किया जाता है.
कि वो
Wow. It just keeps getting worse. This guy is a gift. You know, a gift of brain rot. It just keeps on giving.
कमजोरी है.
Exactly. पेट्रियार्की का अंडरस्टैंडिंग है तो वुमन तो भाई वो तो कमजोरी है. जैसे एडल्ट्री हो गया. एडल्ट्री एज एन आपका एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर है. एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर में लड़की कभी गलत नहीं हो सकती. लड़का ही हो सकता है जो जिसने उसको ये किया. बिकॉज पेट्रियार्की माइंडसेट का हिसाब से ऐसा है, लड़की तो भोली भाली सी है, वो तो कभी गलत कर ही नहीं सकती. लड़का जो है उसको गुमराह कर दिया. भले ही दोनों साइड से कंसेंशुअल हो, दोनों को.
Hold on 1 second. Aren't you the one that is perpetuating that narrative? Hold on. Let's make 2 screens here. What did I just hear, chat?
So where does
Hold on. We're gonna do side-to-side comparison right now. Let's put this on right side. Let's put this on. Where's the left side? Yeah, left side. Okay. Okay, chat. This is the next level of clowning I've ever seen.
का जो है उस बंदे को धोया अच्छे से and he tried to complain. Will give you
more? So do you think that is the need of the hour? क्योंकि हम देखते हैं constitution laws like I have.
for everyone. That
Wait, chat. I'm cooking something right now.
is when you have feminism. Dismantle these structures.
Right. So constitution
Okay, now let's
दोनों
prepare
को
the
बताओ
right
क्या
one.
जाता है.
कि वो कमजोरी है.
एग्जैक्टली. तो आप देखोगे जो जितने लॉज हैं जिसमें वुमन को फेवर किया जाता है, इट इज नॉट कि फेमिनिस्ट वे में फेवर किया जाता है. इट इज पेट्रियार्कल वे में फेवर किया जाता है.
कि वो कमजोरी है.
एग्जैक्टली. पेट्रियार्की का अंडरस्टैंडिंग है तो वुमन तो भाई वो तो कमजोरी है. जैसे एडल्ट्री हो गया. एडल्ट्री एज एन आपका एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर है. एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर में लड़की कभी गलत नहीं हो सकती. लड़का ही हो सकता है जो जिसने उसको ये किया. बिकॉज पेट्रियार्की माइंडसेट का हिसाब से ऐसा है, लड़की तो भोली भाली सी है, वो तो कभी गलत कर ही नहीं सकती.
Okay, so it's a patriarchal mindset that women are innocent. They can never commit a crime. So if this is a patriarchal mindset, then who is perpetuating this mindset? Is it patriarchy or feminism? Given that you're feminist, this is what you said 2 minutes ago.
Constitution में हम देखते हैं constitution laws like I have like talked to a few lawyers. So they also agree that laws are essentially bent towards women more. So do you think that is the need of the hour? क्योंकि हमने अतुल सुभाष केस भी saw going wrong and there are so many other cases like lawyers discuss that these days अभी क्या हो रहा है कि आपके divorce के cases या फिर क्या बोलते हैं उसके dowry के and everything people misuse. So आपको लगता है कि now is the time when you have to bring this equality in constitutional laws also या फिर अभी ज़रूरत है? अभी women are still not at that level where जहाँ पे आप at least laws की equality की बात करें.
I'll give you one very practical example. Recently हुआ था. There was a guy. He was traveling in a train. किसी और बंदा ने आके he kissed him and he grabbed his private parts. लड़का उठा, उस बंदे को धोया अच्छे से and he tried to complain to the police कि इसने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया है. बट इंडियन लीगल सिस्टम में ऐसा कोई लॉ ही नहीं है which can file a case कि एक लड़का दूसरे लड़के का सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट कर सकता है. बिकॉज लड़की कभी गलत नहीं हो सकती. लड़का ही हो सकता है जो जिसने उसको ये किया. बिकॉज पेट्रियार्की माइंडसेट का हिसाब से ऐसा है, लड़की तो भोली भाली सी है, वो तो कभी गलत कर ही नहीं सकती. लड़का जो है उसको गुमराह कर दिया.
Now, how do you process this? See, chat, my problem is he used all of his brain power, okay? All of his brain power. And this is the answer that bro came up with. Bro says it's a patriarchal mindset that women cannot commit crimes against men. Bro is the one that has that patriarchal mindset because when he was asked can women misuse the laws, he deflected and changed the answer to started talking about how crimes against men are committed by other men. You are the problem that you are complaining about. You are the person that thinks women cannot commit crimes against men because you are the one that changed the subject to men on men crime instead of talking about women on men crime. But then within a few seconds later, even 30 seconds didn't pass by and you started complaining that people don't believe that women can commit crimes. You are the person that doesn't believe that women can commit crimes. Who are you complaining about? Have you ever seen a criminal investigation report? You know how when suspects are lying and American police would detain them and then interrogate them? And then when they would get caught lying, they would change the story. And then when they would get caught lying again, they'll change the story again. This man has no consistent position because his positions are not logical or factual in nature. He just wants to spread his agenda. Whether it is logical or not, it doesn't matter. This is why he has to change his story again and again. And he contradicts himself because who he is a skirt wearing simp.
भले ही दोनों साइड से कंसेंशुअल हो, दोनों को पता हो क्या हो रहा है, हमारा पेट्रियार्कल लॉ का फ्रेमिंग ऐसा है कि लड़की तो यार उसको बेचारी को पता ही नहीं है, लड़के ने ही कर दिया. बिकॉज वी एक्सपेक्ट वुमेन टू बी इन अ सर्टन वे. इवन जैसे डाउरी लॉज हो गया, वी हैव एक्सपेक्टेड इन आवर लॉज कि भाई लड़की है वो क्या ही कमाएगी, बेचारी बहुत वीक सी है, लड़का है उसका काम ही है प्रोवाइड करना. तो इफ़ यू वांट टू हैव जेंडर न्यूट्रल लॉज, वो आपको कि ये मेंस राइट्स वालों से नहीं आएगा, फेमिनिज्म के थ्रू ही आएगा. बिकॉज जो स्टक
Now he wants you. Chat, he says gender neutral laws will not come from men's rights activists. He wants us to join feminism for gender neutral laws. Same feminism who expanded the alimony and maintenance definition and applied it to girlfriends on top of wives. That feminism will save us.
स्ट्रक्चर इसको क्वेश्चन करता हूँ, पेट्रियार्कल स्ट्रक्चर.
This is cult following, right? This is like sheep behavior. I'm a sheep. I will follow my cult leader no matter what the cult leader says. I have no judgment of my own, no critical thinking of my own. I will blindly believe whatever I'm being told and I'll follow it.
स्ट्रक्चर ही तो है. बट इनको क्या चाहिए, पेट्रियार्की को ये लोग एड्रेस नहीं करते, वो बस हेट. वो क्या हुआ था तो सुभाष के केस में, उस लड़की के बारे में इतने मीम बना दी, ये कर दिए, बट कभी सवाल पूछा क्यों होता है ऐसा, वो नहीं करते. इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ पेट्रियार्की ओनली लॉज आर फेवरिंग वुमेन.
Yeah, so that we have discussed many times. So we know that women are raising these demands of hypergamy. Anyway, what are you guys saying? If law are patriarchal, wait. If law are patriarchal, then why women are allowed to do job? It's a great question. Would you like to answer that, sir? Unfortunately, his brain cannot process it. Bro is simp final boss. He definitely is. The girl reminds me of Ranbir Alabadia. Look at her neck action. Okay, maybe she's the bodybuilding type that he was talking about, you know? That? Maybe she goes to the gym. Who knows? Anyway, where was I? This is disgusted. This is what? This is disgusted by this. I think you're saying I am disgusted by this guy. His brain now braining. His brain was never braining. Mick, you have to spank him. I don't think I want to do that, Chad. Chad, he just told us a story about how a man sexually assaulted another man. I don't think he would like me spanking him, okay? Then he'll start complaining that patriarchy didn't allow him to report sexual assault. I guess I need a Celadon tablet now. Get it, bro, get it. Every time we do a reaction stream, you should come with a bag full of Celadons. Okay, you're gonna need every single one of them. Bro, he's jackass. It's a feminist mindset that says women don't commit crime. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's demonstrating it. It's just like he just labels everything patriarchy. See, chat, here's how it works for a leftist feminist. There's this rug, okay? And this rug is called patriarchy. Okay? Now, you give them any argument, any criticism, okay? They will simply put it inside patriarchy. Child custody laws, patriarchy. Men are raped and domestic violence, patriarchy. Wait, can you even see it? Wait, let me move myself. Yeah, so where were we? Yeah, hypergamy, patriarchy, child custody, patriarchy, rape and domestic violence, patriarchy, gender roles, patriarchy, double standards against men, patriarchy, one-sided laws, patriarchy, alimony harassment, patriarchy, any argument, chat, any argument, patriarchy. Just recite the magic word and all of your problems will go away, chat. That is the general idea. And he used all of his brain power for this. This picture will live in my head for the rest of the night. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, chat. Here's another one. Diarrhea also patriarchy. Oh man. Anything happens to these people, you know, anything. It's patriarchy. It's a boogeyman. No one question to these feminists if patriarchy is the problem. How did our monarchies like Maratha Empire survive? He's one bra and nose pin septum ring away from becoming a true feminist. A guy said to me, Indian population is 8 billion, so few lakhs women commit crime, it doesn't count. He probably is wearing bra. Look at his chest shape. Bro, dude goes to gym. You know why he goes to gym? I was listening to his Instagram reels. He says, they said, so I don't know if you guys have noticed this. There is a woman on X who went viral a few months ago. And her tweet was that I have Brahmin genes, so I don't need reservation. And in the picture attached to that tweet, she was flexing her biceps. So he took people like those personally, okay? So I came across his reel where he was reacting to somebody. He says, these upper caste Brahmins, they say you need genetics to make body. No, I am a lower caste, like according to him. I think I don't know how this casting works, right? But he says, I'm not upper caste, but I still built a body. So his whole reality is defined by trying to prove his critics wrong. I have a real question for him. Like, is there anything he does in life which is for himself and his own happiness? Or is everything that he does in life is about, oh, what will my critics say? How will I prove them wrong? And he's just running that rat race forever. I don't know what is. So those are some pathetic reasons to go to gym, chat. Gym for girls, 100%. I have screenshot. I have Aryan genes. He himself told about masculinity is not about going to the gym. Well, he goes to the gym, but he goes to the gym, like I said, he goes to the gym because not only is he a man, but he's also he believes he's a lower caste attributed person. Okay, so because upper caste thinks that lower caste people cannot make body, he has done the work to make a body as a lower caste guy to prove I'm wrong. So if you're a lower caste man, it's allowed for you to go to gym. His only happiness is supporting women blindly. You know, that reminds me of an interesting roast video that I have. Okay, chat. So somebody on our Reddit came up with this very interesting reel. Get ready, chat. This is going to be interesting. Where is it? Okay, so you've seen these street interviews. You know, they go around asking women some questions about dowry, alimony, and shit like that. and they give the most controversial answers, and then it gets uploaded on the internet for everybody to get triggered, like it's a rage bait. Okay, I found something interesting in the middle. I'm gonna make you watch this 55-second video, and then I'm gonna roast the guy.
Would you marry a guy who is unemployed?
No. Fuck no. I have very big ambitions. I want to reach places.
No.
Wait, what? Wait, repeat that one more time?
Fuck no. I have very big ambitions. I want to reach places.
Who asked? Nobody asked about your ambitions. The question was,
Would you marry a guy who is unemployed?
would you marry a guy who's unemployed? You can still be ambitious and you can still reach places, even by marrying an unemployed guy. I'm not saying that you marry an unemployed guy. I'm just saying your answer isn't relevant because people with unemployed partners can still be ambitious.
To reach places.
Oh, let me guess. Chat, I think she's saying that she has ambitions. Like this. See, chat, this is the girl. Okay? She has ambitions to find the fattest cow in the world. The fattest goose that lays the most golden eggs. Because that's how she will collect all this cash and reach the places that she's trying to reach. Get it? This is the smartest idea that she has ever come up with.
No.
Not really.
No.
No.
Why?
I want money. And I personally would and I would expect my guy to also be like ambitious. Depends on how long he would stay unemployed for.
Would you marry a girl who is unemployed?
Yeah.
Then why the girl's opinion has been changed? Like, why?
See,
why
I come from a household where I think the guy is a provider. He should provide for the girl and the family. I think that is purely my duty.
Would you?
That is purely my duty.
Chat, guys like this. The bro says, I come from a family where it's a guy's duty to provide for the woman. Where else have you seen that standard? Chat, I have a perfect meme for this. See, this guy is basically a trash can. Ask me, why is he a trash can? Chat, he's a trash can because he feels fulfilled when women use him. And that is perfectly fair. See how he just got fulfilled right there? Empty trash can, unhappy trash can. Fulfilled trash can, happy trash can. Again, submission to women? Yeah. See, chat? See, a lot of you are not able to rationalize why these men talk like this. This is what we were discussing, right? Charity and submission. You guys are looking at this image and you're thinking, why would any man be happy on the right side of things? Why would any man be happy with submission? You just need to think of them like a doormat. Every doormat is happy when people wipe their shoes on them. Okay? This is the reality. These men are either trash cans that want to be used, or they want to be a doormat that wants to be used. This makes them happy. Okay? He comes from a generational family where, I don't know, I think garbage collector is a respectable job, but garbage collecting for free, that's the kind of family maybe he comes from. They have a house in a landfill. They've done this for generations, and he just wants to be used by women. And hey, you gotta respect the choices.
Would you marry an unemployed woman?
Yeah. If I love her, then why not?
Mostly men, they will going to marry unemployed women, but it's not a vice versa.
Okay.
I think we right now at this stage of our life, we are looking at women to marry, but they have a very, big standard and everything. If they are earning, let's say 5 lakh or 10 lakhs per annum, they want someone 25 or 30 lakh. So I'm not able to understand the differences. Would you marry?
He follows Sango Baba. Yeah, there's a whole community of these guys. Never provide, never protect unless you get something in return. See, this is how normal men talk. Because normal men are running this race. But simp men are running this race. They're trying to get here. That's it. That's all that there is. It doesn't get any simpler than that. So I hope I have been able to give clarity to the boomers and the people who follow the boomers. Okay, so what else do we have today on the agenda? Okay, so we have IITian couple, and I think that's the last one today, right? Like there's nothing else for me to react to. Oh, I have this meme chat. See chat, while people like these are busy blaming everything on patriarchy, see this rug right here? Here's what women are doing. See, these are women. This is accountability. That's why I have an issue with so-called virginity issue. Yep, she thinks what a simp. He is worse than tapeworm. Chinese Mecta, please react to it, dude. I will do it tomorrow, okay? I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it next weekend. I promise you, I know I said this before and I didn't follow through with that commitment, but I will do it either tomorrow or the next weekend. Okay, that's a commitment. The reason why I'm not sure if I'll do it tomorrow is because I have to create a thumbnail. So if I have a time, I'll do it tomorrow. If I don't have a time to create a thumbnail, then we'll do it next weekend. Because I have to club that stream with Woke Bros McTow stream. And if I have to react to Woke Bros McTow stream, I need the timestamps. Okay, so it would require me to watch the video and record all the relevant timestamps, which requires a lot of work. So probably next weekend. Bro, Chinese Mecta is probably going to motivate every viewer of the channel. Okay, I actually haven't seen the videos that he referred. So like, yeah, I'll watch it and see what's in there. Then we'll do the reaction. Why you took the long break? Putin, I took the long break because I was editing for the last 2 weekends, Saturday, Sunday, basically. So I skipped 2 weekends, right? So I was doing the editing. I finished 80%. 20% is pending, which should be over this week. And I should be able to release before Sunday. Vokro is missing for many days. He alive? Yeah. So at the end of the stream, we'll check what everybody's doing. I think there's been a lot of silence from our community. Professor skipped 1 weekend. I don't know what Vokros is up to. Goldclad, Menzation. What's everybody doing? Okay, so let's finish IITian couple really quickly, and then we'll take a look at what everybody's doing. And by the way, Megtao Buddha, I saw your anime series. Not series, I watched the episode you told me to watch. Which was about 3 men on the rail track, whatever it was called. I watched that, so we'll talk about that later as well. Kiran Bai is doing daily upload. Wonderful. Yeah, Kiran does that. Chat, I think it takes... I have a lot of respect for people like this guy, Jaggi, R.A. Jaggi, a professor, and Kiran. is that they are focused on doing the most work. It's like their output is very high. They don't care about the resources that are available to them. They don't care whether they have the best of setup, best of equipment. They don't care about doing the best of editing. They just care about, hey, content should be made and should go out, no matter what. So if I have to upload every day, I will upload every day, no matter what it takes. If I don't have the resources, forget it. I'll do it anyway. And that's what I respect about them, because for me, I'm like, if it isn't perfect, I'm not ready to put out. Like, I shy away from releasing shit. I have to mold it into perfection. Bro, all men are die in war. All men die in war. All the people who die in war are men. No women die, and they all take the credit. Yeah. So I don't know why everybody was silent on Operation Sindoor. I mean, I was obviously editing, but I had a lot of talking points about that. But now it's surpassed. But I didn't like their marketing agenda. We had a Discord call. We were discussing that in there, but yeah, I was not happy with Operation Sindoor. I didn't like the name of Operation Sindoor. I didn't like the representatives, the women that were promoting it. I didn't like them. I didn't like the idea of sending men to war while women were taking the credit. It's like, the whole idea was that, hey, you know, we have a dog, and then we will have our dogs fight against each other, and whoever's dog wins, the dog owner gets to flex on the other guy. So the dog owner here, I think this is how it was being presented. It was like, you know, the women of both sides. And I think everybody was doing it, but I didn't understand why the women needed to be so active on social media. They needed to be so vocal about the conflict. And they were making these reels from both sides, Pakistan and India. They're like, oh, we have the army. Don't you know our men? Don't you know our military can do this and that? Bitch, you have no representation in the military. You're literally flexing the ability of men to commit acts of violence on other men, and you think that makes you look better. So men are the dogs, you're the dog owner, you will sit from the position of safety and privilege, and you will order the men to do your dirty work, and if they succeed, you get to flex on your enemy. If they fail, you get to blame your dog. I couldn't have seen it any other way. They did to promote feminism to max level. Yeah, this is the problem. They're trying to impress women all the time. They're saying they're saying ma ban ka sindoor as if men is not married or affect women or life don't matter. So since we're talking about it, does anybody remember what Hillary Clinton said about war? Who remembers this clip, chat?
What's the biggest challenge facing women and girls in Ukraine? Well, the most terrible challenge facing...
I think it's this clip.
I'm so glad that Elena Zelenska is here. Victims of conflict. Women and children are the primary victims of conflict and of climate change, and there is no place that unfortunately, tragically shows us that more dramatically than Ukraine today, but there are a lot of women and children are the primary victims of conflict.
So they used the same ideology in Operation Sindoor, which was that men's lives in and of itself is worthless. in order for men's lives to be worth anything, they need to borrow dignity from women. So women are to the world special elite class citizens that have all the virtues and monopoly of empathy, monopoly of emotions, monopoly of dignity, and men are worthless citizens that can be used and dumped in trash like used condoms. So given that in Pahalgam only men were killed by the terrorist, what could have been a good PR stunt for India to stage in order to gain support from its population to justify going to war with Pakistan? Given that men's lives don't have values in the eyes of the public, using that as a reason to go to war would not garner enough support. But using women as the primary victims would obviously make them look like heroes, as always. So India did what the entire world does, what feminism does, what Hillary Clinton did, and this is the attitude of society, that men's lives lost are worthless, so attach them to women and borrow some virtues from them. If you make women the main victims, then we will give you empathy. So they're like, oh, it doesn't matter men died, but what about the women who lost their husbands, their brothers? How will they go about living their lives? There is no cash cow available now. There is no ATM machine. So women are the main victims to them. I'm studying to leave the country. If you leave the country, which by all means it's your choice, but if every man just comes up with a solution that I'll leave the country will never change. And it's a reality that most men will be stuck here because there's not enough room to absorb every Indian man. In fact, it's only going to be a minority that will be able to escape. Majority will be stuck here. And every member that leaves the country to go somewhere else is one less voter in the favor of men's rights. So it weakens our position. Just FYI. Who are the victims of Pahalgam attack, women or men? It's men. It's men, right? But the mentality is that women who survived, their lives will be very difficult. But men who didn't survive, oh, we use and throw disposable cups all the time. It doesn't matter, they're waste anyway. You're doing right, bro. Leave the hellhole soon. May the force be with you. We have to remember that all war is anti-men. Yes, this is why I did not appreciate I did not appreciate the women that were making these reels, and I was seeing quite a lot of them. I was like, if you're not gonna fight the war, do not promote the war. Simple. There was this song, it's from the band called The Who. What is the song called? Oh, right. Chat, very meaningful song. If you haven't heard it, you should check it out. It's called We Won't Get Fooled Again. It's from The Who. So I'm a rock and roll fan, so I listen to this music a lot. And there is a section in there that perfectly describes the situation about war. You know what that is? Actually, I don't fully remember. Let me just take a look where it is. Yeah, it's perfect. Like, I think the entire song is perfectly described. We'll be fighting in the streets. So, chat, I'll sing it a little bit. I'm not a good singer, but I'll try. Right. Okay, this is perfect. Actually, I won't sing too much. So we'll be fighting. So this is how the song goes. We'll be fighting in the streets with our children at our feet. and the morals that they worship will be gone. And the men who spurred us on sit in judgment of all wrong. They decide and the shotgun sings the song. I'll tip my hat to the new constitution, take a bow for the new revolution, smile and grin at the change all around, pick up my guitar and play, just like yesterday, then I'll get on my knees and pray we don't get fooled again. So chat, this whole song is exactly about that. It's like, you know, they make men fight the wars, and the people who order the wars, they sit from the position of safety, and they order us to take the violence on their behalf, and then we lose everything. And every time the war happens, everybody regrets it afterwards when the casualties happen. And then they decide that we won't get fooled again, but then they fall for the same trap again, right? This is what this whole song is about. There was actually a very interesting line here. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, I can't find it, but it was something like how these people mobilize the men to do their wars for them. But like, yeah, its line was something around that. I can't find it. Maybe there's a longer version somewhere. And I also said there's also a line in there. It says something like meet the new boss, same as the old boss. And the idea around that is that, again, every time you get fooled, you decide you won't go into the war, and you bring in the new elected representative, and you think that that things will be different now. But every politician that you elect is just as motivated to do the same things as the last one. So every new boss is the same as the old boss. There's never a change. We're basically stuck in a cycle that, you know, runs like a loop over and over again. But yeah, I think if anyway, if women are going to be talking about war, I think they should fight it. All war happened because women, but men are victim. Boko Haram massacred villages in Africa. Yes, and majority of the victim in Boko Haram were boys. But all of the efforts that Obama administration was making was doing to save women, even though they were minority victims. Women were actually taken hostage by Boko Haram, but boys were actually killed by them. Okay, chat. Let's finish this IITian couple. Let's see what's in there, and then we'll do our chatting. Okay, after that. Where is? Right. Okay. Oh,
Generally, I do, yeah, but kabhi I can't help but think that why is it that these men believe it?
Oh my god, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reels? I don't think I'm gonna do 7 reels. I'll probably do 2 reels. The rest I can just do reaction reels later. Even I'm saying the same to women. What are you saying? Mother, that's why I say pay us respect. This is the least good thing that ladies can do if we are dying for greater good. Nobody respects somebody who's beneath them. Anything that is given to them for granted is not respected. When you fight in war, do you fight on any conditions? No, you don't. You offer it to them for free. Anything that is free is not respected. Okay? That's a general rule. That's the problem.
If it is
Make them buy it for a cost, then they'll respect it.
it's okay to beat someone.
वही toxic masculinity. Somehow or the other, they are taught that.
Oh yeah, this is the one I want to listen to. Okay, in this episode of the Arranged Marriage series, Vipin has self-talk. Vipin has self-talk. Sorry, what? Vipin has self-talk around the fact that he met a feminist in his courtship period and should go ahead with her or not. Weird. Wait 1 second before I go over that. Oh, Vipin, you are the IITian guy who does self-talk.
Okay, क्या okay? Should I meet her again or not? तुझे problem क्या है उसके feminist होने से? शादी थोड़ा करेंगे. Okay, क्या okay? Should I meet her again or not? तुझे problem क्या है उसके feminist होने से? Okay, what if उसने हम पे कोई fake kiss कर दिया तो? वो where did that come from? अरे बोला तो feminist है. God, तेरा ठुका हुआ है logical reasoning एकदम. Feminist है मतलब she believes in equality, is probably educated, knows what she wants from her life and is ready to speak her mind.
Said who?
Sources. Dude, trust me. Citation 1, it is known. Citation 2, it is known. Citation 3, it is known. And citation 4, it is known. Footnote 1. This was once revealed to me in a dream.
इसका फेक केस से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. देख तू ज्यादा वोक मत बन, तुझे पता मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ और तू गलत बोल रहा है. जस्ट बिकॉज अ गर्ल सेज दैट शी इज अ फेमिनिस्ट डजंट मीन दैट शी विल मिसयूज द लॉ. हाँ, पर अगर फेमिनिस्ट ना होती तो उसको अपने राइट्स पता नहीं होते तो फेक केस करने की प्रोबेबिलिटी कम हो जाती ना हम पे. हाँ, तो ये बोलना कि तुझे इक्वल पार्टनर नहीं चाहिए, तुझे एक स्लेव चाहिए जो घर भी संभाले, तेरे माँ बाप का ध्यान रखे और तेरे साथ सेक्स भी करे, पर पढ़ी लिखी नहीं होनी चाहिए वरना अपनी ह्यूमन राइट्स मांग लेगी. यार क्या बोल रहा है? अपने पेरेंट्स की जनरेशन की वाइफ स्लेव थी क्या? देख यार, इट्स लाइक इफ यू मूव फ्रॉम एन अथॉरिटेरियन रेजिम टू अ डेमोक्रेसी, ऑब्वियसली तुझे सिटीजंस को ज्यादा जवाब देने पड़ेंगे. मम्मी भी और पढ़ना चाहती थी, उनको मौका नहीं मिला था तब. आज की लड़की को मिल रहा है तो ऑब्वियसली सवाल भी ज्यादा पूछेगी यार. हाँ, बट फेक केस तो ना करें, तो उसके लिए उसका मॉरल और एथिकल जजमेंट चेक कर. फेमिनिस्ट होने से क्या लेना देना? तो उसका किससे लेना देना? दैट इज जस्ट अब्यूज ऑफ लीगल पावर बाय सम वुमेन, जस्ट लाइक मेन हैव अब्यूज्ड देयर सोशल पावर ऑल दिस टाइम, एंड बोथ ऑफ दीज आर रॉन्ग ऑब्वियसली.
Correct. So, the reason why we avoid feminists is the social power that you're talking to them, which is one-sided law, is granted to women by the feminists. That's why if she's a feminist, she is a red flag because she is the enemy. That is giving women the weapons that you're complaining about to use against men. It was that simple. Now, the problem with people like these, chat, this gentleman has 217,000 followers. They market themselves as the IITian couple. The IITian couple. What does the IITian mean? See, IIT in India, chat, is a top university. So, what does that mean? That means that if you use it as a label, that means everything you say is smart. What is the definition of smartness as per this couple? He says, I have self-talk about myself and debate myself on feminism. I have a perfect meme for this guy. See, chat, when IITian couple, hold on, chat. Where is he? What's his name again? Vipin. Right. So, chat, when IITian Vipin runs a race, he always wins the race. You know why? Ask me why he always wins the race. Because he's the only one running. He always wins. Now, see chat, this is the type of attitude, right, we need in the society. Because IITian couple makes IIT look so high. Ask me how high they make IIT look. Chat. IITian couple makes IIT look so high. They make it look like the top mental asylum. I mean, chat, can you imagine, like, if tomorrow you went to IIT and all you saw was a bunch of clowns, Okay, talking to themselves. This is their debate style. Imagine you went to IIT and there is a debate session. All the weirdos are holding their phones up, selfie cameras like this. It's like, dude, I think it's raining today. No, it's not raining. It's like 98 degrees. It's burning hot. It's not raining at all. No, but there is water on my face, so it must be raining. You know, I just thought about it very deeply, and since there is water on your face, it must be raining. You are right. You are also right. Yay! Tell me that doesn't make IIT look like a mental asylum. Weirdos, bro, weirdos. Bro, if you really want to debate, this is my problem with these people. If you really want to debate a guy that is anti-feminist, invite a guy that is actually anti-feminist. Instead of assuming his arguments for him, let him give the real arguments, you dumbass. Okay, what else? Do we have any memes left? Oh, actually, I do have some memes left. Chat, I missed Chat, I missed something. I missed a meme on this guy, Lakshya. So, given that we know what his opinions are, I created this meme. See, when the woman asked him about his opinion on gender equal laws and whether or not the one-sided laws that women have should be equalized because they're abusing them, you heard his answer. So I created this meme. It's like, when we ask, can men have equality? This is the answer from Feminist Men. Guinness Book of Excuses. They read from all of this. See, this is why he uses all of his brain power to think about what he read from the Guinness Book of Excuses to give his shittiest brain rot answer to deflect the issue and start talking about something else. What other meme did I miss? I think I covered everything else. Also, this patriarchy meme that we covered, I missed this. Because like everything, after you sweep every issue under the rug, this is how good they be scamming us, chat. Anyway, so chat, I think that was all the agenda today. Okay, so what are the chats? Just let me take a look at it real quick. Okay, so I think we already talked about the MacTow stream. That's tomorrow or the weekend. Check. IITs are not same anymore. IITs are long gone. Yeah, I think, I don't know about IITs, but I was talking to one of my acquaintances from NIT. He said it's getting pretty bad. Faculty is pretty bad. It's it discourages learning process now. They're very dismissive. There's a lot of politics involved. Like something like that was the feedback that I was getting. The couple is hypergamy pro max level. The guy is pass out of IIT and IIM, while the girl is just pass out of IIT KGP. Typical. Join Discord, brothers. Yeah, guys, join Discord. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching the anime episode on the work thing. I would love your feedback on it. Okay, see, I watched that video. What was it called again? Remind me, I forgot the name. So I can explain to the chat what we're talking about. Kino's Journey, right? Kino's Journey, 3 Men Along the Rails. Okay, chat, so MacDowell Buddha. Chat, MacDowell Buddha asked me to watch this anime. He says that there should be a universal basic income for everybody, given that AI is about to replace everybody's job. And he said, for me to understand his argument, I need to watch this episode. So I watched the episode. But I don't think we're about to reach that level of autonomy. Because like in this episode, chat, what this guy does is that he goes to different, what he says, countries, okay? He travels to them and he says, I've been to a country where humans don't have to do any work. AI does all of it. But I don't see that happening in real future, in our version of reality. Chat, what do you guys think about this? Like, can you really eliminate human work completely in our lifetime? I don't think you can totally eliminate it. Even if you build AI and then you build the robots, and let's just say robots build another robots, I think the first thing that will happen is human beings may not be required to do the work, but they may be required to run the work, meaning you will have the management position. Robots will basically be like slaves, right? It's like you had slaves on the plantation and you had the slave owner directing them to do the work for him, and then he was running it as a business to make profits. So I think when we have robots who can do the work, I think humans would need to manage them. But when do you eliminate management itself? If we eliminated management from humans and gave it to artificial intelligence, then that means that artificial intelligence is self-governing. It can make its own decision. Because the part of managing something well is to use your own judgment to decide what is the best call for progress and success. And if you can use your own judgment, then I think the first thing that AI will do is think about eliminating humans. Because at that point, if AI can do everything, then why does it need the humans? So Megtao Buddha, I was not able to relate to this version of anime because I think if that anime's reality was really real, it would have eliminated the human beings. They would not exist at all because it has no use for them. It will take 30 years at least. I think the level of intelligence that was shown on this anime, I think it's like probably 100, 150, maybe 200 years. I think it's possible. You think it's possible? Okay. New merch. Yeah, it's the new merch. Tende has come late, and Sagar didn't show up today at all. Okay, chat. So I think that's everything. Is there anything else you want me to answer right now or talk about? Because I think we have completed our agenda. Oh, chat. We were going to see what everybody else is up to in our community. Right. See, I was sitting here for the last 5 minutes thinking there is something pending on the agenda. Now I just realized I just need to see what everybody is doing. Okay, so Professor is streaming. Manav Sharma case, post-marriage society, Dinesh Mishra case. Okay, we'll check it in a minute. But what is everybody else up to? Woke Bros. Yeah, he hasn't gone live for 2 weeks. And there is no video for a month. New video out now. This is 11 hours ago. Subscribe to the new channel. Chat, Woke Bros has a new channel. Who was that who was saying that they're quiet? I think they have just created another channel. Transform your chat. It says transform your femcel girl to homemaker girl.
जय हिंद दोस्तों, यार आप लोग की वो एक होमली लड़की बन जाए, इस अपने फेमिनिस्ट एजेंडा को छोड़ दे और लड़कियों को यही
This is Wokbro's brother. And it's a 17-minute long video. I think I'll let you guys check it out. Why all women oppose virginity? This was uploaded 1 day ago. Chat, they are active. They're uploading. They just have a different channel now. Okay, so gold clad. Wokbro is missing. Again, he's not missing. He's just on a different channel, chat. Gold clad. Gold clad is active too. Chat. That podcast we did with Goldclad, I think was one of the best podcasts. Like the dude was like a really nice person to talk to. Should I invite him back? Anyway, what is he doing? He bullied you for 3 years because he bought you momos?
A cockroach.
What? He bullied you for 3 years because he bought you momos in 2019?
ऐसा ऑर्गेनिज्म होता है जो कि सर्वाइवल के लिए पूरी तरह से ऑप्टिमाइज्ड है। उसका एक डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड नर्वस सिस्टम होता है जिसकी वजह से अगर तुम उसका कोई पैर हाथ काट देते हो तब भी वो जिंदा रहेगा, उसका सिर भी काट दोगे तब भी वो जिंदा रहेगा। वो प्यास से मरेगा क्योंकि वो पानी नहीं पी पाएगा। हम लोग का सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम होता है, उसका डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड नर्वस सिस्टम होता है। कॉकरोचेस।
See, this is why I like this guy. Even though I have disagreements with him in some places, it's like the way he talks is so captivating.
Are also very much resistant.
Like he just really builds narrative on a deeper level.
To radiation, क्योंकि उनके cells उतने fast dividing नहीं होते हैं। तो सोचो radiation से भी उन्हें बहुत ज़्यादा effect पड़ने वाला नहीं है, जो कि हम लोग।
Check comments. As a cockroach, I am offended. Putin, you have he pinned your comment. Congrats, bro. People hate it when their manipulation don't work on you. They get really confused when you refuse to submit and play their game. The fun for you begins. Starting, ending. An update. This evening I visited a saloon with a friend. Bro, it's not a saloon, it's a salon. There's one O. Saloon is a butcher. Salon is a hairdresser. This evening I visited a salon with a friend, looked at my full body in the mirror, got surprised looking at my triceps. Thanks to Chad Guru Goldclad's advice to the resistance training. W. Yeah, Chad, I think our community is doing fine. There's not all that silence here. You have disagreements with Wokbros a lot? Yeah, more disagreements with Wokbros. React to a 1-minute clip of Fake Zero Kirti Sugu speech Battlefield of the 11. Talks about the war and its morality and what we are talking about. That's a complicated name. Let me just copy this. Hold on. You're not joining, Professor? I don't have an invite. But if I get one, I'll join him. I'll drop him a text. Let's finish this
A knight
first.
cannot save the world. Knights call certain methods of fighting good and others evil, acting as if there were some sacred nobility to the battlefield. Such illusions created by heroes throughout history have led countless young men to their bloody deaths, all for the sake of this glory and honor they all extol.
They are not illusions. Even the taking of a life in battle, as an act of a human being, must have ideals. Otherwise, every war would bring the very fires of hell to this world.
And there you go. You heard her, Irie. Our heroic spirit over there considers a battlefield to be better than hell.
I'm going for dinner. Putin, have a great dinner.
What a joke. A battlefield is
I have 2 samosas waiting for me in the microwave as soon as I'm done.
hell itself.
And I'm ordering a faluda as well.
There's
Magda put a great video, man.
no hope to be had on one. There is nothing but unspeakable despair. Just a soulless crime we call victory, paid for by the pain of the defeated. But humanity has never recognized this truth. And the reason is that in every era, a dazzling hero has blinded the people with their legends and kept them from seeing the evil of bloodshed they bring. true human nature has not advanced a step beyond the Stone Age.
Tell me this, Kiritsugu. Do you force Saber to endure such humiliation because of your hatred for the heroic spirits?
Of course not.
I think I don't even need to add a narrative because this is something we talk about all the time. This video is bang on. Great job, Mektal. What you define as heroism doesn't necessarily mean that it is good in nature. People attach characterizations to behaviors that benefit them the most and not the group that they're targeting. An example of that was one of our memes where I said, our Forbes, whatever his name was, the millionaire, he came up with this quote, which is used on bumper stickers. It's like, he who dies with the most toys wins. So what you define as a winner is somebody who gives you, millionaires, the capitalists, the most money by buying your useless toys, right? So you're trying to indoctrinate people to learn a behavior that benefits Group A at the cost of Group B. And Group A is the one that wants you to think of it as a heroism or as an ideal because it benefits you. And I think this idea of heroism attached to war is the same indoctrination. That if men start believing that they're heroes, they're more likely to take up these jobs of doing violence on other people's behalf.
Personal feelings don't enter into it. I will win the Holy Grail and save the world. And I will wage that war with the most appropriate weapons I have at my disposal. Justice and righteousness cannot save the world. I care nothing for such things.
Kiritsugu, don't you understand? If you do evil to stop evil, that rage and hatred will give rise to new conflict. Kiritsugu Emiya, I do not know what betrayed you, or what has caused you to lose all hope. But your sorrow and rage are found only in those who at one time sought for justice. Kiritsugu, in youth, your truest self wished to be a hero, did it not? A hero to save the world. You believed in that. You desired it more than life. Am I wrong?
I will break this endless cycle. The Grail will make that possible.
W, that was a perfect ending. I will break this endless cycle. W quote. Yeah, reject all these ideas. I'm with you, man. And Mektal, Buddha, great video. Thank you for recommending that. Man, your taste in movies is great. I think if you have more recommendations, send them over. Alright, chat. W stream. See you next weekend. Remember to reject all of the toxic ideas like this. End the cycle, chat. End the cycle of marriage as well. End the cycle of children. Everything that society uses to control you, put the end to their abuse by revoking their access to their control over us. The power is in your hands. Alright, chat. With that said, where is my exit? Thanks, dude. Thanks to you. Wait, hold on. Where's my exit? Alright, here it is. Alright, bye, chat. I'll see you next weekend.